Mattei show. Returning special guest, Mr. Ed Glazer.
Hello.
And this one we have The Seven Magnificent Gladiators, which oddly is kind of his most mainstream released movie.
I have a theory about that, actually.
Yeah. Since the copy we watched it was your VHS put out by Canon Films under MGM. So
yeah, it was weird to see like such a mainstream logo.
Bruno Mattei movie, MGM logo in front of it, Canon Films. Nowadays, I would say it's not his most popular movie, but at that time, it seems like it's a legitimate kind of release here.
Leave them alone!
What's your theory on that?
Well, the thing is that, like, the exact same year, 1983, the Lou Ferrigno Hercules movie came out, the one produced by Canon Films, directed by Luigi Cozzi. And my guess is that both of those movies star Lou Ferrigno and Sybil Danning. And I think that probably what happened was Canon Films, their Italian branch, sprung for like a big budget Hercules movie with all the special effects and everything.
Yeah.
And while they were there, just to like make the most of their money, or while they were still under contract or whatever, they were like, let's do another movie with these two stars, handed it over to the B Squad, Bruno Mattei, and make another movie as cheap as you possibly can, and let's do another one in that style without any of the special effects, just make it sort of standard peplum, and let's rip off the Seven Samurai.
That would explain his big belt with the H on it.
Which it might even
his name was Han.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
That's what they did with not Bruno's Caligula, but that Caligula 2. That I forget the Italian director who made that, but that they left over sets, used a couple of the B actors from it.
Right.
Just made this B movie. And even watching it, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, because watching it, while I wouldn't say like it's his best looking movie or even his most well-made movie, it seems like it is made knowing that it's probably going to get a wider release, because there are several scenes in this movie where if this was his Caligula movies, it would have been stock footage. I mean, there are chariot races in this movie that's actually filmed by him and is actually going on. I mean, it isn't the stock footage used in the Caligula movies.
That's against the rules.
Granted, though, the track that they're doing that chariot race on,
Well, I was shot at the state fair.
yeah, it's probably no more than like a 60th of a mile. Like it's seriously like 25 yards.
Yeah.
Just back around for about 5 people.
Now, there
Going
was,
very slowly.
It did seem like he was reeling back on the sexuality he's had in his movies thus far.
PG.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
But like the scenes where like those women were traipsing around like the togas and they keep flapping up and they're wearing like these huge underpants. It's like, that's not Bruno. Come on now.
That's not the Bruno I know
Should
and
be butt
love.
cheeks by now.
Better time.
Better times.
Well, there is a chariot race, chariot scene in Hercules, and I wonder if it's the same. Probably not. It didn't look like the same set, but could have been the same chariots.
Yeah.
Sure, because of the chariots at least, those looked, I mean, actually really, budgeted for that. I mean, like somebody set aside some time and effort to make those chariots. It wasn't just a couple pieces of like plywood spray painted.
And for one scene, Bruno, I don't think he would spring for that.
Yeah, exactly. 5 total minutes of chariot.
Right.
No, he wouldn't have done that.
Watching it, to me, it felt more like a Joe D'Amato movie than a Bruno movie. How it looks, how it feels. It feels like an Auteur movie.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
In how it looks and everything, and in fact, it's rated PG. So watching this movie, I mean, if you were to ask me who directed this, Bruno or Joe D'Amato, I would probably guess Joe D'Amato. I mean, I know he didn't, but that's kind of how it feels. It doesn't have the same feel as the style of Bruno of, say, the Caligula movies, or the style of, say, SS Girls.
Yeah.
Thank God, not the Mondo movies.
Well, this one he did actually have directed by Bruno Mattei. He didn't use any of his pseudonyms.
Yeah, this is the second time we've seen him do that. This movie and Women's Camp 119. Those are the two he wants you to know.
Well, this is the one. This is the one where he was going to get a legitimate release. So put his name on the Canon film. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But Claudio Fragasso used
Claude
Fergas.
The hell is he trying to pull with that?
Claude Fergas, my Fergas.
Oh.
Directed by Joe Amato. Oh, yeah, I believe that. But as for the plot, you know, it's like a Bruno remake exploitation. It's Seven Samurai. It's been so long since I've seen Seven Samurai, so when I was watching this, I was thinking more comparing it to Magnificent Seven.
I was doing the same thing.
Right. Like there's like the Bronson type character who the kids look up to and everything.
Please show us. Please, Goliath. I've never ever seen you split wood with your hands.
All right, all right. Have to let me work in peace, huh?
Yes, let's do it,
Just this
Goliath.
once.
Now, the main thing is to know how to pick the right spot. Strength helps, but it's not everything.
Goliath, that's like magic. Go on.
Right.
There's the James Coburn guy who's good with knives. There's the
Well, we were talking about there's the like wannabe
wannabe.
character who's more like Horst Buchholz's character in Magnificent Seven.
is that Steve McQueen?
No,
Or no,
the young kid.
yeah, the kid,
Horst
that's
Buchholz,
right.
I think is
Shit,
the
yeah,
actor.
I can't
Versus the like more badass Toshiro Mifune version from Seven Samurai. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's more intentionally based
Yeah,
on Magnificent
because in this
Seven.
movie, the kid looks like Ricky Nelson.
I do like that they actually knocked off a better movie personality-wise, because it did make all the characters inherently likable and like different. Yeah. That's hard with like an ensemble piece like
Right.
that. You could definitely
They were very
tell the
likable.
difference between the different characters.
Lou Ferrigno, I mean, obviously his voice is dubbed in this, but I mean, he's very fun, very entertaining, like he always is.
And that
few
kid-loving guy
times
with
he
the
actually
thlumping
talks.
stick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was my favorite. Captain Caveman.
But like all
That
the other
was
guys
my
had these like
favorite.
huge, intricate fighting scenes, and he's walking around just bonking guys in the head with a gigantic club.
Right.
He's kind of like Bud Spencer from like those Terrence Hill Bud Spencer
Yes.
movies where like all he does is like wham, and
Yeah.
you're dead.
Like it'll show Sybil Danning, who's also great in the movie. It'll show Sybil Danning, sword playing with, Red Sonja type fight thing. It'll cut to him. It looks like you're watching like a cartoon, and he walks up to you expect him to walk up to a woman and bop her on the head and just sling her over his shoulder and retreat to his cave.
Well, they even did that kind of like Indiana Jones-esque scene where like the one guy's like, oh, wah, sword fight, and he just whomps him and he's completely out.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a
did
little more
everything
subtle than in Ator 3 than in Sword of Power.
with the wrist cannon.
Or Quest for the Mighty Sword.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was everything short of actually having like the big like bonk doink type sound
Kabong.
effects. Yeah, kabong.
And Sybil Danning is awesome in this. I love Sybil Danning. She's the kind of entertaining B-movie actress who, when you watch them speak their dialogue, how they act in the movie, it's like they're in on the joke as well. Like,
Right.
They totally get it and just
She
have
knows
fun
what
with
she's
it.
getting paid
Yeah,
for.
and just completely has fun with it.
Yeah,
And
so-
that's
Sybil-
what she does in this, and it's very entertaining.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Sybil Danning, this is her second Seven
Yeah.
Samurai remake. Also Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Seven Samurai in Space.
You don't really expect me to believe that talk of magic swords and damsels in distress, do you?
It's the truth.
Hey, I know you and your truth too well, you sneaky dog. Let the truth be our little secret. And let's split the tape like we did that time in Herculaneum.
No, was she the warrior woman who went
Yeah.
out like a punk?
Yeah.
Okay, I felt kind of bad about that.
Oh yeah, that was out of nowhere when that happened.
Yeah, she's
didn't it?
like, oh, I love you. He's like, I love you too. And someone stabs her in the
Stabbing
back.
me.
She falls over dead.
You know something?
What?
I figured you'd come back.
It happened so quick that I didn't even know she was dead when it happened. I just thought, oh, well, someone knocked her out or something.
Well, they offed like 5 of the 7 during that last
Everybody
scene.
went out like a punk.
I know, like, I didn't even notice that the caveman had died until like there
Like
were
making
rubble
a
over him
gigantic
and
mound for it.
his freaking thwopping stick that they put on top
All the
of the
children
grave.
just
Right.
weeping.
Like, tenderly laying it on top of the grave.
Which was the one that had the most enormous grave out of all
That
of
was
them?
his.
Yeah,
that was
him.
his? Okay, where it looked like he was buried
That's a big fat
standing
person.
up.
Yeah, everyone else's burial pile was maybe from here's the ground, here's the top of the rocks. I mean, just enough rocks to cover you. But his is like if I was standing, it's like chest high.
You know, make sure
Like,
he
they
stay
just-
dead.
Yeah, kept piling on.
It was
Yeah,
just
I don't
wishes.
think he was dead. They just wanted to get rid of him. Like, fuck, a ton of rocks, that'll do it.
After the credits,
Burst
then he
up,
opens his
grabs
eyes.
the
came
ground.
was back
I'd watch that sequel.
in 8 magnificent gladiators.
Magnificent Gladiators 2001.
But great if Sybil Danning turned up in the 7 one that they did on Angel's Revenge.
Oh god. She would have outclassed all of them.
Right.
There's no way she would have been in that movie.
Totally could have outshined their love. That's right, Angel's Revenge reference.
Start my steak over here.
But I love the villains in this movie too. The villains are a lot of fun. Even the
Bird Hat and Zardoz.
Zed from Zardoz pops up, of course, and
Is this all? I've been gone for a year. A year of combat and bloodshed. This is what you honor me with? 4 chickens and a piece of cheese? Is that all I'm worth to you?
that same style of bird hat from
The Ator 2.
yeah, that David Brandon wore in Ator 2. It didn't flap quite as much as David Brandon's did,
Right.
but
Definitely had a giant swan.
I recognize an Italian prop when I see one.
The thing is that, you know, that bird hat, as ostentatious as it was, I didn't notice it the first couple scenes he was in, because he was standing next to a guy wearing like a leather diaper and an arrow for a bib.
Well, if he had been wearing the swan hat, he would have been the villain from Ator 2.
Just a few ragged skins and some wine. Not worth the trouble to get such miserable loot.
You're right, Dax. It's hardly worth the trouble. I'm beginning to miss Clusium.
Emperor Liberace there too
yes.
was great. It was like the most they might as well have been. I'm talking range cape. Like he's Emperor
Fancy
Paul
bastard.
Lind.
Well, plus it is effete son that kind of just like stood over his shoulder wringing his hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was very entertaining. I wish the movie had more of that. I wish the movie had more of those guys in it.
He has strength and ability. But does this barbarian have a brain? Scipio is the most cunning charioteer in the circus. I'm positive he'll be my winner.
The main villain is mostly Zed from Zardoz, but oh yeah, the feminine emperor too. Like watching the two girls like oil wrestling, which is prominently featured on the back of the box. Like,
yeah.
like I totally believe you're into this.
I have this idea about how Bruno Mattei directs, and it's for his villains and stuff. It's like, okay, now chew the scenery, now act more, no gayer, no more, no bigger, gayer, bigger, gayer. Yes, perfect, yes, cut, print, done.
Eyes and teeth, eyes and teeth.
Yes, exactly.
I have a feeling that's the direction that he gave to Gabriel. And,
No, he doesn't
that's
need
true.
direction. That's how he acts in real life.
I hope so.
You don't
I
direct
hope
him,
so.
you aim him.
Yeah, damn right.
She's got her.
But I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun. I don't know how much I would have enjoyed it if I didn't watch it with a big group of people. You know, I don't know how much I would have enjoyed it if I was just say sitting there just watching it on my own or something like that. But there's a lot of Bruno's movies I could say that about.
Well, it was a good movie to riff with a bunch of people.
It was,
I thought, because it had a good pace to it. And, like
Yeah.
hilarious stuff kept happening. You know,
It was just the right amount
enough
of length.
times that like we didn't start getting bored with it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right,
that'll
exactly.
happen sometimes with the movie.
Yeah, it didn't. It was God, I mean, was this even 90 minutes long?
No, it was pretty short.
I mean, it didn't overstay its welcome. It
It was
didn't
probably
get bored.
about 90 minutes generally
Yeah.
they were.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be leaving at dawn.
So soon?
Isn't that what you wanted?
What do you mean?
Nothing. Only Nichorote has been defeated, and Clusium liberated. You don't want the 7 of us around here anymore.
There was the one part where we kind of thought it was over, like 45 minutes into it.
Right.
Surely he will never be back. Farewell, everyone, and just rides off into the sunset.
Exactly. We've chased the bad guy away.
Like,
My
whoa, that
job
was
is done.
Yeah, they gave him the big sword to kill the guy with, just so he could like, be like, menacing, isn't it? Now leave. So that's the way you do it.
Lo, I am foiled.
The only couple of like Bruno staples that I could really see in this movie are, I swear, the doctor from Libido Mania was that old guy in that.
Oh
one
yeah.
scene.
Oh, the landlord from Ace Ventura.
Ventura. Yeah.
I'm like 90% convinced that was that guy.
Yeah, and the fact that one of the sets looked a little like
the throne room where they're having the oil wrestling. When you were like, where the King Emperor bedazzled guy was sitting. Didn't look familiar. I mean, that was a little different looking, but the rest of the expanse of that room. I mean, I swear, if you move the tarp that all the oil was on,
Black marble underneath.
yeah, there's gonna be that black marble. Lift that up, swimming pool.
Yeah, this
Claudius's little fishies still in there.
Yeah.
I'm just floating on
the same
that's gross.
the same slave guy standing there, like.
Would you still be so cruel, though?
I was looking for him in the background, like he's got to be here somewhere. He has got to be just standing here.
Yeah, like you were there for the Caligula ones. I swear, like half of the movies when it wasn't stock footage, it was all like in that room, just shot in different parts of it, making it look like there were two different areas. Like we didn't even realize until like the second one that like, wait a minute, they're just covering up the pool with like black marble. That's the same room.
I get the feeling, you almost get the feeling that it was like, for this like B movie to the Hercules movie, people were like bidding to direct it, and like he was being like, no, I'll do it for really cheap, I promise I'll do it. And they're like, okay, but none of your regular crap, okay?
We don't want your shit.
Just time my risks, god damn it.
Make it for kids, make it acceptable for kids.
Hey,
What?
don't get carried away.
You're not my keeper.
So that
Panties
means that
everywhere.
there's an original,
Wrestling.
there's an original version of the script out there that, like, you know, naked Laura Gemser introduces. That would be great. Something for the entire family. She still yells at us at the end for watching it.
Perverts. You're all perverts.
How dare you watch this?
Of course, you also know that there'd be like, you know, like bottom of page 2, it's like, you know, gives line, scene, entrance, scene from like Hercules versus the Moon Man.
Yeah.
Let's just insert that in there. Like, it'll make sense. It'll all work.
I recognize one of the costumes from Hercules against the Moon Man.
Really?
Well, it's probably. I'm sure it's not, but it's that. Hi, I'm a chocolate bar. Break off bits of me and join me all day long with little like pyramids all over the.
Yeah, some of the armor was kind of like not kind of suspect as far as how well it would protect you in a battle. Because like the one I'm thinking of specifically is they kept putting that poor woman in like tighter and tighter brassieres and like cutting her waist up to like here.
Right.
Hey, Scipio! I can't let you die alone!
Are you talking about Sybil Danning's
Sybil
outfit?
Yeah, like
Oh,
someone
that
just
was
stab her in the
great.
flank and she'd be screwed.
Well, she changed outfits every time she got on or off.
Yeah.
Yes.
She Brigitte Nielsen the hell out of that role.
I don't
They were
know
just,
where the
like,
hell she was
chasing like
carrying
mad.
it. No one brought anything with them. It was them and a horse.
Well, it was sort of like outfit strip poker for her, especially. Like, every scene she was wearing a little bit less, but like weird things, so that eventually, like, it was like she had one strap for her thing, and then like the other one there was no strap, but there was like a chain that went
Yeah,
through
like
her
came
choker,
like
across and like that.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
like a weird like leather flap in front of her crotch and
Right.
like that was just a unitard.
Nothing like this ever happened to me. Never.
I'm going back to Clusium.
What?
I like too the fact that most of this is outside, which is rare in this kind of Bruno movie. Very little of the Caligulas were outside. But when this is outside, they're filmed like in the Roman ruins and everything, which at that time
everything's already
wouldn't be
Why would it
ruins.
be ruins at that point?
Exactly. It's it's all distressed. It's very fashionable to have your stuff look like
This
it's
sandblasted
years
all the
old.
buildings.
Right, exactly. I enjoy living in this house with no roof, some stones.
Al fresco, everything's al
Right.
fresco.
Half pillars that are just toppled over, like you expect like the foot from Lost to be like on the shore. And
What's wrong with you people? We've come all the way from Rome to help you.
I would have been fine with it if they had just started off saying that it was not ancient Rome, Greece, wherever.
like some kind of nether world.
Well, even just
The Hyborian Age.
exactly.
Tony XT6.
Yeah.
You know, present it like it's Conan. Present it like it's Ator.
Yeah.
Just change it up. But no, they present it like this is actually taking place in that age. It just makes it make no sense.
It's better than when they showed that in Caligula and Messalina, when they showed that model of Rome that they used in the opening credit sequence. Looked like it was probably about as big as this table. Well, we know it was because they used that as a freaking model prop in Caligula reincarnated as Nero.
I like that. Gave me kind of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood flashbacks when we were watching it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
Like then trolley came down to the middle.
Oh yes. Oh, that would be fantastic.
Anacora! Anacora! The man I told you about, he is here. Han.
Yes. He is the predestined one.
How well did this movie even go over when it was released?
That I couldn't tell you. I mean,
Yeah.
again, my guess is that this was just a cheapie that was done after they finished Hercules. I mean, I don't even have any proof of that. It makes the most sense to me as far as when it came out.
Yeah,
who did it,
trying to
and how it was
where
made,
it was
too.
shot, what production company, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it got even any kind of. It may have come out direct to video in America
Yeah.
and gotten some theatrical release.
It wasn't really
overseas,
bad
or-
by mainstream standards, though.
Mm,
So I'd
really?
imagine it would go over at least relatively well.
I don't think that it was one that was reviewed a lot because, I mean, even though this seemed to get the biggest release at the time for one of his, when you look for movie reviews and stuff on this, there's very little. You might as well be looking for like a mainstream review of one of his Mondo movies.
Yeah.
It's not impossible that it did just come out during the video boom in America, just for the rental market. And again, they were just
I
trying
think
to make a little extra money.
your tape said like 1985 on it or 86.
Yeah, 'cause the only thing I could find that someone I was looking at a couple just like kind of like individual reviews online, that I found someone that mentioned that they actually saw it in a theater. They went there to like see something else, like Dreamscape or something like that.
Nice.
And ended up catching this one instead, but. I mean, no basis of knowledge. Like,
one hell
they
of a
could have very well
double
been in like the UK or I mean in Italy. I mean, it could have been anywhere, but I mean, at least it did hit a theater somewhere.
Cool.
Apparently.
If you're watching this and you know the answer to this question, let us know.
Yes. Did you see this in theater? Did you pay money
Where-
to watch
where do you-
this movie
where did you
in
live?
public? And can we heckle you?
Well, I mean, in terms of like overall, in terms of quality, story, dialogue, even. I mean, no worse than and probably better than a lot of the like '60s peplum movies that they were churning out in Italy. All the
Oh, yeah.
Hercules and Machiste.
Yeah, I like this
and,
better than Hercules in the Moonman. It's
Yeah.
the non-Misty version.
Right.
Yeah, I like it better than a lot of those I saw. I like both of the Hercules that they showed on Mystery Science Theater.
Hercules Unchained, I think was the other one.
Hercules when John James the first. I think they did actually both of the actual Hercules movies. Hercules Against the Moonmen actually isn't a Hercules movie. It was one of those ones that was like Machiste, like some Italian-specific hero that they created, and they're like, Americans aren't gonna wanna, like, who the hell is Machiste? So they just call him Hercules, and then they just
Sandstorm.
Yeah. Deep hurting.
I suppose we talk a little bit about Lou Ferrigno's role in the movie.
The Incredible Hulk is the seventh magnificent gladiator.
That is a huge man.
Oh, and when you read the back of the box too, it describes one of the other characters as being a Hulk.
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
Yeah.
And Lou Ferrigno was like a foot taller than him.
Right. Which I think his name was even supposed to be like Goliath.
That's
they were
right.
calling him Goliath.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is one of the kids killed him at the end with a slingshot.
That actually would have been more impressive than how he did go out.
I can't even remember how he went out. It happened so quickly.
It got like, it looked like he got like cut across like the cheek by
Yeah, one of them
It's
got like
Achilles'
cut in the
cheek.
face. One of them got like thump, 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 a bunch of arrows, and then lady got stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Right. You're fantastic. Look out!
But yeah, one of the things we were talking about is that it is pretty amazing that they got Lou Ferrigno for this. I mean, just
Well, I think Lou Ferrigno is sort of why this movie exists.
Yeah.
But I mean, imagine if like it wasn't a Lou Ferrigno movie and it was just some like random bodybuilder.
Yeah, I can't even imagine who else they would have gotten. I mean, I guess maybe Captain Caveman could have stepped into the Lou Ferrigno role, but
that would have just been sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he was
guy,
big, but he was kind of floppy.
Jesse Ventura
like
could have
biker kind of big.
that other bodybuilder with the beard who has small parts in all of Arnold's movies.
Triple H?
Oh God, no. No, I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, the guy from Abraxas, the guy who's the star of Abraxas.
I think so.
Because he's like like their best friend.
Yeah, he's like
Right.
he has small parts in like all of Arnold's movies. He was the security guard.
Right.
running
Yeah,
man.
that's the guy.
Yeah, it could have been him. He would have done a good job. He's got a beard.
Give me the Colmeda. Yeah, he sounds like Arnold too. So if you ever watch Abraxas Guardian of the Universe, he's sort of like in the evil Arnold role or something.
Okay.
Nice.
He's like Arnold, but not.
The only one I would
Rolling
see doing
Kite
evil
Clinger.
Arnold is Arnold. It worked in Total Recall.
Although no, Roland Kickinger is awesome. He starred in he's like the body of Arnold in
Salvation.
in Terminator Salvation, but he played young Arnold in a made-for-TV movie about Arnold's like rise to fame and, simultaneously his like rise to governorship, and it's called Run Arnold Run, and old Arnold is played by
Prochnow.
Jurgen Prochnow, and young Arnold is played by Roland Kickinger. It's great.
It's pretty funny. It's Jurgen Prochnow is great in it. He basically plays Arnold like the same way Phil Hartman would play Arnold. It's
hilarious.
It is pretty funny. But yeah, I could imagine one of those guys in the role, and yeah, I mean Ferrigno, he's fucking built like he looks even more built honestly than Arnold did in Conan. He's freaking huge. He's got like the kind of David Hess sort of bro thing going on.
Well, that beard. I mean,
it's magnificent.
I had some beard envy on that one.
I hear you, man.
Glorious.
That's one of the first movies where the dubbing kind of took me out of it, because I'm used to hearing Ferrigno's like actual voice and stuff that he's in.
Hold it! You give up? On one condition.
What condition?
That you join us. There's a village of women, children, and old people who are going to be destroyed.
It didn't take me out of it too terribly much, but I know what you're saying because I've seen movies before where I've do that, like when Vic Morrow is in 1990 The Bronx Warriors. It's really distracting when his voice is dubbed.
That's not how you sound.
Yeah, but I know it didn't distract me too terribly much.
Well, and it definitely wasn't as as off-sounding as like the dub they had for Schwarzenegger and Hercules in
New York.
Yeah, there's no way that
I'm
voice
Arnold. I am Hercules.
comes from that guy.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. I mean, they got a voice that fits how he looks, fits his body type.
Yeah,
you know.
If you've ever heard Ferrigno speak, you know it's not him. But yeah, for him, it made a good fit.
Yeah. It didn't distract me too terribly much.
Nichirote! Do you hear me, Nichirote? We've come back! Do you hear me, Nichirote?
Well, that's about all we got for Seven Magnificent Gladiators. We are spent. But, what we got coming up? I think, Women's Prison Massacre. Oh, what the fucking masterpiece.
Violent or whatever that other stuff.
Yeah.
Fake metaphor was.
Oh, we'll see you next time for the classic Women's Prison Massacre. See ya.